Hey, sports fans, Larry Eater, Run Blog Run. This is day one review Tokyo Breakdown. And we had a couple fun sessions to open things up with. Everything started with the preliminary rounds of the women's 100 meters. Again, we've talked about that before. That's where a lot of countries don't have athletes who are experienced in track and field. And the way that World Athletics encourages them to compete is they give them an athlete in the 100-meter prelim rounds. And some of them advanced, and a few of them did. There were performances as strong as 11:47, and they should be able to compete then in the upcoming round one. What we're going to talk about first is the men's high jump. 13 men hit 2:28. Maxime Akiamento, Mutaz Essabarshim, Django Lavet, Siobhan Harrison, Hamish Kerr, Brandon Stark, Naoto Toby, Shelby McEwen, Gianmarco Tambiri, guy that cuts off half his beard a lot of times, Saniak Wu, Ilya Ivanyuk, and Maxime Nadisco, who's had an incredible year, plus Tom Gale. I think we're going to have a pretty impressive men's high jump. Siobhan Harrison, again, remember, is doing that double that hasn't been done since our friend Jim Thorpe back in 1912. And as if you recall, Stuart Weir asked me what it was like back in 1912. And well, I may be old. I'm not that old. And although that was good, and it did catch me off guard a little bit. What's interesting about Siobhan, though, and what I always thought was that, well, gosh, if it's such a big thing, how did Jim Thorpe do? Well, he took fourth in the high jump and seventh in the long jump back in 1912. Siobhan Harrison has won the long jump and the high jump in NCAA indoor and outdoor competitions. I think he can medal in both, which would be pretty tremendous. Men's steeplechase was the next event, and the most impressive, Lamesha Girma, Ryuji Miura, and Benjamin Keegan were in the first heat. Girma won in 9:83, which pretty darn good, obviously, but surprisingly fast for a first heat. Ryuji Miura broke the Japanese record to move on to the semifinals. Then in Benjamin Keegan was an 8:10.80. Ryuji Miura ran 8:09.92. Abraham Kibiwat won the second heat from Getnet Wale and Ahmed Abdul Wahid. Matthew Hughes, Halasa Zaglani, Himani Halasi, Mohammed Tinduf also qualified, as did John Gay and Bernard Katir. The steeple was rather curious because the third heat, they could have run faster and they did not. There were three guys who qualified in 8:19. The fastest losers came from other heats. Bernard Katir is the only American who made the final. I thought Mason Fearlick had a good shot, but he was just out of it. And Hillary Bohr, probably the biggest upset of the competition so far, did not move on. Mason ran 8:20.23. It is exceedingly hot in Tokyo. In fact, Stuart Weir, our writer, who's over there for us right now, he's covering for us and for our friends at Athletics Weekly. He told me that it's hotter than Doha. Doha was oppressively hot. My son Adam and I would walk 2 miles every day to the stadium from where the bus let us off. And the first 4 days, I just didn't know how I was going to make it. It was that hot, 105 to 108 degrees with just strong humidity. And we were carrying stuff, and Adam was carrying cameras. It was amazing. And that's the way it was for everybody. Thank God we had enough water there. One of the things that Stuart said about Tokyo is they have cold water everywhere. So that makes a big, big difference. The women's 800-meter heats were fascinating. All the key players got through. It was led by Natalia Gould with 1:59.83. Gemma Ricci won her heat in 1:59.97. Ajay Wilson looked good at 2 flat. Shenyu Wang from China, 2:00.11. I think, let me just try to tell you who else I thought. Halima Nakai from Uganda, 2:0.92. I think the first round in the women's 800 and Keely Hodgkinson all made it. I was double checking. Alexandra Bell did make it because she was on the top 3 Brits, the top 3 USA athletes are all there. I think Katharina Trost from Germany should be a player as well. Rosemarie Almanza from Cuba. She's on 156, but she's so inconsistent. It's going to be interesting to see what she can do in the next round. But the Americans, I thought, looked really good. The Brits looked really good as well. And I think that we should see some pretty incredible performances. The semifinal of the 800 is going to be brutal, and there's no way around it. The next event we're going to cover is the men's 400-meter hurdles first round. Abir Araham Samba from Qatar, remember, he took bronze in Doha in the 400 hurdles, won heat 1 in 48.38. Alison Dos Santos, who I think will be a spoiler and I think can medal. He's run 47.32 this year behind Karsten Warholm. He ran 48.42. In heat 2, let's try to get that up for you guys. Shaheel Hyde from Jamaica, 48.54 to Kenneth Selman, USA's 48.61. Selman looked really good, as did Hiroma Yamachi in 49.21. In heat 3, Karsten Warholm just kept it easy, 48.65. He looked great. Thomas Barr, the Irish 400-meter hurdler who's done so well in the last, I believe it's his 3rd Olympics, 49.02. He's always a player. In heat 4, it was Kyron McMaster. He's from British Virgin Islands. And Kyron ran 48.79. I think he's going to be a player. He always is. Watch for him. Yasmani Copello, 49 flat. Sean Rowe from Jamaica, 49.18. And David Kenziera of the U.S., 49.23. In heat 4, and that was heat 4. Finally, in heat 5, Rai Benjamin, 48.60, with Rasmus Maji from Estonia, 48.73, and Sokawana Zazini, 49.51. The 400-meter hurdles is one of the toughest events on track. A full flat 400 meters would be enough, but then you add 10 hurdles, and you have a race that challenges both endurance and speed. The women's 100 first round had some real messaging and some real playing. In the first heat, it was Tiana Daniels, an 11.04, followed by Dina Asher-Smith, an 11.07, and Muriel Ahore, an 11.16. But that was just the beginning. In heat 2, Elaine Thompson-Herah went 10.82. Majinga Kambuji, 10.95, equaled the Swiss national record, and Tatiana Pinto, 11.16. In heat 3, Alexandra Berghardt, the very tall German, outran Xavian Oliver, 11.08 to 11.15, and Anna Bognoni from Italy, 11.35. Berghardt ran close to her PB. I think it's about 11.07. In heat 4, Marie Jose Talou, it was the race of the day with a 10.78, a new Cote d'Ivoire record, and an equaling the African record as well. And Marie Jose has been a player, as you recall, back in 16, she was fourth in the 100 and the 200. In 17, she was second in the 100 and 200. And in 2019, she medaled as well. So 2021, she's obviously in shape, ready to roll. Daria Nasha from Great Britain went 10.96 PB, and Crystal Emanuel went 11.18. In Heat 5, the fireworks continued. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price, 10.84. How does anybody beat her? I mean, that's the thing. She's been around now since 2008, and she's medaled in every major event except 2017 when she had her baby son Zion. Alja Del Point, this was a fun one to watch. She was neck and neck with Shelly-Ann the entire way, and then Shelly-Ann busted it open. And Ajla ran 10.91, a national record in Switzerland. It's her first time under 11 seconds. So yes, the event is the track is fast, to say the very, very least. The performances are impressive. I think that you're going to see an incredible second next round. Heat 6, Blessing Okabari reminded us she was there. She won an 11.05, Asha Phillip 11.31, and Tania Gaither 11.34. In the final heat of the 100, Michelle Lee Ahi 11.06, Sharika Jackson 11.07, and Jenna Prandini, who came in to replace Shikari Richardson, was 11.11, equaling her seasonal best. That was a great 100, and that ended the first session. We came back in the evening and had some good qualification rounds as well. And I wanted to kind of update you on those. And again, this is going to be our schedule for the next 5 to 6 days. We'll have the morning session. We'll see in the U.S. in the evening session. We'll see the following morning. Okay, sports fans, we're going to start session 2 with the 5,000 meters. Safan Hassan is running the 5 and the 10. We have no clue if she's going to do the 1,500. I sure hope she's not. But she won what do you call it? Yeah, you are going to call it Heat 1. She won Heat 1 in 14:47.89. Agnes Jabet Tirup, 14:48.01. Senberi Tafari, 14:48.31. Ejagahu Tai, 14:48.52. Liliat Regnak, 14:50.36. Yasmin Khan from Turkey, 14:50.92. Carissa Schweizer, 14:51.34. And then Salamoid Tafari from Israel ran 14:53.43, a national record. Rorika Hironaka also qualified in 14:55.87, and the final qualifier from Heat 1 was Andrea Sakafian, 14:59.55. Jessica Judd did not move on, and Luisia Rodriguez from Spain did not move on. That was in the first heat. Again, terribly hot, terribly humid in Tokyo right now. The distance runners are really getting their butts kicked. In Heat 2, this was a little surprising, but I think it was the people who could withstand the heat. Gadaf Sagay, 14:55.74. Helen O'Beary, 14:55.77. Nadia Batoclietti, 14:55.83. Elise Cranny from the U.S., 14:56.14. Caroline Grovedahl, 14:56.82. And Nozomi Tanaka, 14:59.93 with a PB. She did not move on. Neither did the American Rachel Schneider, who ran 15:007. And Eilish McColgan, 15:09.68, was kind of a surprise for me at the very least. The distance races are just going to be very tactical. I hope people aren't stupid enough to run really, really fast, but we will have to wait and see. In the women's triple jump qualifying, um, a couple surprises here. Yulimar Rojas led the qualifying with 14:77. Ana Palitrio from Spain, 14:62, her seasonal best. But Theo Lafond, 14:60, national record. Portugal's Patricia Mamona, 14:54. Cuba's Leah Gomez Pove, 14:50. Shanika Ricketts from Jamaica, 14:43. Katarine Iborgen from Colombia, 14:37 in her seasonal best. Hannah Minienko equaled her seasonal best from Israel, 14:36. Kimberly Williams, she's been around forever, 14:30. Ruji Diallo, 14:29. Kentura Orji from the U.S., 14:26. And Christina Makila, 14:21. What surprised me was that Tori Franklin did not move on. Again, probably heat, jet lag, could be a lot of things. It's a challenging environment in total, to say the very, very least. Shot put, most of the players got through. Li Xiaogong led everything with a throw of 1946. Xiaoyan Song, her teammate, 1923. Raven Saunders from the U.S. got a nice one, 1922. Fanny Roos, Sweden, 1901. Aliona Dubitskaya, 1889, from Belarus. Valerie Adams in her fifth Olympics, 1883. Yang Gao from China, 1880 as well. Ariel Dongmo from Portugal. Remember, she's been leading most of the throwing for much of the season, 1880 qualifying. Porcius Warren, 1875. She's from TTO. USA's Jessica Ramsey, 1875. Madison Lee Weshka, New Zealand, 1865, a PB. Final qualifier is Sarah Gambetta, 1857. Christina Schwanitz from Germany didn't make it. I was really floored by that. Anita Morton from Hungary did not make it. Yeah, that was kind of surprising as well. Adelaide Aquila, 1768, the NCAA champion who I met at Denny's during the Olympic trials with her family and got to see her Olympic trials medal. She had her first Olympic experience, which I think we'll see her for several Olympics to come. The 4x400 mixed relay is a lot of fun. The controversy there was the U.S. team was disqualified, and then early Tokyo time, they were reinstated. So we'll have to do a little bit of research there. But we had our first final of the evening of the entire Olympics for track and field, and one of my favorite events, and that is the 10,000 meters. And as you know, I say it's a 25-lap chess game, and Solomon Barega, Joshua Cheptegei, and Jacob Kiplimo were the key players. The Ugandans took something straight out of the Kenyan playbook and sacrificed one of their athletes in the battle. But at the very end, the 23-year-old Solomon Barega, who has been burning up the track for the last several years, won in 27:43:22. Joshua Cheptegei, my favorite, 27:43:63, a seasonal best, and Jacob Kiplino from Uganda, 27:43:88. Berhu Eragawi from Ethiopia was fourth in 27:46:16. Grant Fisher from the U.S., the recent Stanford grad, 27:46:39 in his first global competition. Grant really showed his stuff. Hats off to the other two Americans. Woody Kincaid, his real name is William. He finished 15th in 28:11:01. Joe Klecker, U.S., was 16th, 28:14:18. And Mark Scott, the British champion, was in 28:09:23. Again, it's all about trying to. The 5,000 meters or the 10,000 meters is always a tough event, but here's the thing that you're dealing with. It's hot as hell out there. The track gets even hotter. And so what a championship races tend to do is they just battle and battle. And it's uh, what it really was a 5,000 meter um, uh, race and almost a 10,000 meter fartlek. And Borrega was able to handle it. And hats off to him. I hope we get some relief in the weather for the athletes in Tokyo. It'll help the sprints, it'll help the jumps, but for the distances, it's going to be difficult and it's going to play a part. Several women in the 5,000 meter heats, and it was much warmer then than it was in the 10,000, collapsed. And all indications are that they're okay. They needed to be hydrated. But again, I can only speculate. But for example, in Hayward during the Olympic trials, it was 107 in the stands, and a thermometer on the track showed 135. I recall at the 1992 Olympic trials, the track surface in New Orleans was 120. Yes, that affects athletes. The radiating heat, dehydration is a big thing, and it can truly affect people, as I know, because I had some trouble with dehydration earlier this week in the heat in humid Wisconsin. But that the men's 10,000, won by Borrega, shows you, what's exciting to me is how well Uganda is doing. Joshua Cheptegei and Jacob Kiplimo are just the beginning of a wave of fine Ugandan athletes, and they're battling the best of Ethiopia and the best of Kenya. I'm kind of surprised that the Kenyans did not medal. Hats off to Mo Ahmed, who was sixth place. Mo is a Canadian, but he's also a Badger, so we have to say go Badgers. And Mo is the winner of the most effusive and fun presser after he won a medal when he won the 5,000 in Doha. He was just beside himself and just a good guy. I've watched him compete before. We'll see him in the 5,000 as well. But this was day one, and I will get better with this too. Bear with me. I stayed up most of the evening into the morning to try to make sure we had coverage done for you, and we've got some great stories coming up as well. Thanks to Mike Deering, our production manager, who is keeping these videos coming and getting them in a timely manner. And I look forward to showing off the articles from our team. Justin Legat has a couple up there already. And I just saw Dave Hunters and more from our friend Stuart Weir. Stuart's in the stadium each day, and he put some fun pictures up, and I will put some more up as well from him. So we're trying to give you a nice feel for what's going on in the Tokyo Olympic Stadium. But this is Larry Eater signing off for day one, our review in the Tokyo breakdown. Stay safe, hydrate, get some exercise, and we will see you tonight. Take care.